Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video here on Marvel Strike Force. Are you ready for Thanosgiving? Because that's basically what we're in right now. So, no, we're not here to talk about Thanos, the character as such. We're here to talk about the release method. We're here to do, I guess it's sort of like a part two of all this garbage that's been going on regarding the Annihilators unlock system. And I want to talk about the Thanos orb. I want to talk about what the expected shards might look like over the next 30 to 35 days based on how long I think that this orb is going to be spewing out until the end of this cycle, which is a long time, right? Because technically we're going to be like going into the Orcus team and we're still going to be getting these orbs and stuff. I think now, I don't know for a fact that we're going to be getting arena reward payouts for 30 days or 35 days, but realistically, if we don't, then I don't know where the hell you're going to get an unlock for these characters. So we're going to talk about all the shards. We're going to break this down. We're going to do some math stuff, right, like we normally do, and let's boil this down. Okay, so first off, like this is all related to arena, right? This whole stuff has been related to arena. Right, so now we have the Thanos orbs in here, the Thanos Annihilator orb fragments, and that's what you're getting on a daily basis. And if you're in the top 10, you get 10 orbs a day. If you're not, well, you get a little bit less. If you're in top 50, you get 8 orbs a day. If you're top 250, you get 6 orbs. You might as well just like quit and cry at this point if you're at top 250. We're gonna take a look at the numbers, and it doesn't look very grim. It doesn't look good. It's grim if you're like this far back, honestly, for the amount of orbs that you're getting on a daily basis. It doesn't look very good. But anyways, all of this is going to add up to the experience, right? That you're potentially, so the Thanos Crusade. Now, I'm recording this on Saturday. I don't know when this video is going to go out. Maybe it's going to go out on Tuesday. I'm not sure, right? So just keep an eye out on the days. It's Saturday when I'm recording this. So 38 days as of recording. But anyways, they've actually made this milestone worse. So just to put this into perspective, milestone 7 is 610,000 on the Thanos one. On the Gladiator one, it was, way before, like they've doubled the amount of milestone points that you need to get for the same milestones. And in Gore, Gore was the same as Gladiator, pretty much. So this suggests to me is because not as many Gladiator and Gore orbs were given out than what we're going to be getting in Thanos for the Thanos version. So I don't know if we're going to be getting arena orbs every single day for this entire duration. Maybe we will, right? And we're going to take a look at that anyways. I've suggested we might get 30 days of the arena orb. So that's kind of what we're kind of calculating here on my math in terms of expected shards for all four of the characters. I mean, technically Silver Surfer's in there, but I talked about the garbageness of this orb on Friday, on the Friday blog post video. That's what we talked about with the Thanos Annihilator orb, is that the odds are all here, right? And we're going to take a look at this too. Now, before we get started with the rest of the video, however, I want to say that after day one, I got 0 Thanos shards. I actually got entirely 10 Silver Surfer shards. Is that surprising when he's 75% chance? No, it's not. Actually, I felt really bad, and it's a total feel bad moment, right? Where you're doing well in the arena, I'm in the top 5, and I get my orbs and I pull them and I get no Thanos shards. It just feels like shit. Okay, and so going into we're one day. I'm recording this one day into the arena orbs for Thanos, and I have 49 out of 100 Gore shards. This is from, I guess, all the basically I didn't core. So actually, I think I did get a little bit lucky. I think I got an 8 Gore on one of his orbs. So I might be a little bit further ahead than some people. I have not cored at all on Gore. Not going to. But what are the chances of me actually unlocking Gore at this point? And so the rest of the video is going to be breaking down the math from the Thanos orb perspective and kind of seeing, well, how many extra shards for the other characters and for Thanos are we likely going to get? So I'm calling this Thanosgiving. Actually, the funny thing is that the orb graphic that they're using is the same orb that they use for Thanosgiving. I don't know if that was intentional, but it's kind of a bit of a triggering moment here for a lot of players. Anyways, so we know that these are the odds for each of the characters within that Thanos orb. 75% Surfer, 11.62 for Thanos, 8.48 for Gore, and 4.88 for Gladiator. Now, the estimated value of the orb is this for each character. So 0.75 for Surfer, 0.22 for Thanos, 0.17 for Gore, and 0.097 for Gladiator. Now, it's obviously not possible to get these results for a single orb because you're just going to get one character, right? But over many orbs, this is the estimated value. And so we can kind of take a look then, based on a larger quantity of orbs, what the chances or sorry, what the spread of the character shards that you're likely to get would be. And so my first scenario here is if you're a top 10 arena daily, you're getting 300 orbs over 30 days. You're getting 10 orbs every single day. That's what I'm getting right now. And so what kind of shards are you likely to get? Well, if you multiply 300 times these numbers, then you're going to get 225 Surfer shards, which you probably don't need anyways, 65 and a half Thanos shards, 50.8 Gore shards, and 29 Gladiator shards. I could have just rounded, but I just wanted to leave those numbers there anyways, just to share. And what I want to say is that if you get 300 orbs, you're also getting 600,000 milestone points in the Thanos milestone. And I should have had it brought up when we were talking about it. But where does 600,000 get you? Well, it gets you to like milestone 7. Actually, it's just shy of milestone 7. Let's just assume that you got milestone 7. They're going to have some other, maybe it's 35, whatever. You're going to get milestone 7 probably. At least if you're in the top 10 arena. So what does that give you? That gives you 10 shards plus 1 orb. Okay, so the orbs, I believe, have an EV of 9, I think. These are the core orbs. These are the 675 core orbs that they typically have an EV of 9 based on all of the odds. If you manage to get to 7, let's say you get to milestone 8 and 9, that's an extra 6 shards. And if actually when we talk about the weekend arena warriors, which will reward Thanos shards starting this coming weekend, then you will probably start getting those. And we're going to add those in as well. But that's not an unlock on its own, right? And the other shards, like I hope at this point, like technically that 50.8 Gore shards is enough for me to bridge the gap for my Gore, but maybe not for everyone else. And 29 Gladiator shards, right? So this is the spread for this scenario here. I know that my writing could look a bit chaotic because I kind of just put things on the wall. That's why we're kind of going over it together. If you're top 50 arena, you get 240 orbs over 30 days. And here's the spread for that. 52 Thanos, 40 Gore, and 23 Gladiator. So obviously the numbers goes down, right? If you're not doing as well in arena, you're getting less orbs over the 30 days. It doesn't look as good. Top 250 arena, you're getting 180 orbs over 30 days. You get 39 Thanos, 30 Gore, and, well, 31 Gore, rounding up. And you normally round up at 0.5. And 17.5, sorry, 18 Gladiator shards. So you could add, depending on based on where you are, you could kind of add these totals to where you're currently at and see what happens, right? Does that get you the unlock without cores? And that's the whole crux of the issue, is that we were not really told. I personally believe this is the primary method of obtaining shards, even though they told us it's not. Okay, I think we were lied to. Unless, looking at my calendar, suddenly there's shards that show up for Gladiator in the milestone event on Tuesday, September the 3rd. Maybe there will be. We'll find out, right? But if there isn't, this is what it's going to be. And I want to talk about the Thanos Arena Warriors weekend. I think there's going to be, if we suspect that these arena orb payouts are going to be at least for another 30 days, maybe 35 total, then we should get at least 4 of these Thanos Arena Warrior weekends. I think there's actually only going to be one Gore weekend, which was the one that at least I'm currently in, or maybe it's passed already by the time this video goes out, because I've seen it in the data mines for the Thanos version of it already, which suggests that it's going to replace Gore's, and Gore's is only going to, it would have been 2 weeks of Gladiator, I think, 1 week of Gore, and then the rest of them are Thanos. So if you take a look at the Arena Warriors milestone, which is in here, at least for the Gore version, because that's when I'm currently recording. Anyways, the total number of orbs is pretty much the same, I think. So I calculated that if you go up to what's reasonable for this version of it, it's milestone 11. if you have one of the Annihilators. So I have Gladiator, so I'm getting milestone 11. But regardless, if you get to milestone 10, this is, I believe, 23 orbs. That being said, I rounded down just for the simplicity. So I rounded down to 20 orbs per weekend. You know, just in case the things change for the Thanos version of it, who knows. So that's about 80 more Thanos orbs over 4 weekends. That's kind of what I've assumed. You know, maybe this is subject to change, this part's subject to change, but let's just go with that. So you take these 80 orbs and you multiply it by the estimated value, right? And we get those numbers too. You get 60 Surfer, 17.5 Thanos, 13.5 Gore, 7.8 Gladiator. Okay, so that's additional shards that you're going to get. Now, if you add all of these together, let's say that you're in the top 10 arena, and I'm going to add this with this, and what does that get you? Well, it gives you a lot of Surfer shards. It gives you 107 Thanos shards. Now, I have included the milestone shards and the orb. Actually, sorry, it doesn't. I think it does include the orb. And so this is the, I think I added 9 for the orb. So 10 plus 6 plus 9. That's 20. Actually, I put 24, so it should be 25. So 108 Thanos shards. That's an unlock, right? I mean, that's of average luck. So if you have average luck, yes, you'll get a Thanos unlock in like 30 plus days. Maybe more, who knows? You know, so it will happen. Just as super effing slow. And so the fact that it actually reaches this total makes me think even more so that this is the unlock, because typically we do get an unlock within we normally pull for an event for a character like 100 to 130 shards. Like that's pretty normal these days. So I think that because there could be extra avenues for these orbs in other events, maybe let's say in milestones or whatever, or there's some pop-up shit that happens, we could get a few more orbs. And so this is the current sort of total for Thanos right now, which seems to suggest to me that this is actually it. Now, the other character shards, 64 for Gore and 37 for Gladiator. I've already unlocked Gladiator. I spent cores on him. So that would depend on where you guys are at for Gladiator in terms of like, this is more Gladiator shards you'll get over the next 30 days, hopefully, unless you get screwed by the RNG. And then about 64 more Gore shards. And that will get me the Gore unlock that I need, because I need an extra 51 shards for him, right? Some other places where there are the Gladiator and the Gore orbs as well, see 49 out of 100, is also in the monthly milestone. So I did not include that here in my video, you know, right? The EVs are low. The EVs for the Gladiator orbs are 0.5 Gladiator shard per orb. There is 15 orbs, 20 Gladiator orbs in the monthly. Okay, so that's 10 Gladiator shards, I think, right? Like 30 times 15, sorry, 30 times 0.5 would be the estimated value of more Gladiator shards. So, okay, but it's just, by the time this is over, Gladiator is going to have been released for like almost a month and a half, I think, at this point, right? It's already been quite a while already. And so it's just, they're just delaying some of these releases and unlocks so far. 10 Gore orbs. I don't remember what the EV of the Gore orb is. I think it was 0.5 for Gore, specifically in his own orb as well. It just also contained Gladiator, so there's a chance that he might get some there. Actually, the Gore orb was the best version of it, because it had Silver Surfer at 55%, I believe. And so, you know, between all of this, yes, you might get an unlock, right? Unless you're super unlucky, which then, you know, sucks to be you, I suppose. That's the best I can say. But at the end of the day, this is, instead of having one event where you unlock a character, they're spreading this out over a very long period of time. In some cases, like 40 plus days, right? Like if you count all the way back to the start of Gladiator, you know, some people might not be getting a Gladiator unlock until much later. Depends on how lucky they are. And I brought up this kind of point of being lucky to play, because that's exactly what things are right now. It's RNG gotcha orbs where you could get lucky and could get a jackpot, or you get fuck all and get Silver Surfer half the time that you, or more than that, like 3/4 of the times you open these orbs. It's not a feel good moment. Okay. So what's the TLDR here is that by the end of everything, you should get an unlock. That's what I think. Is that based on the numbers that I see here? Yes, you should get 100 plus shards Hopefully for all three of the characters. I can't comment necessarily on Gladiator and Gore. Based on the numbers that I'm at with Gore right now, would suggest that I would also get a Gore unlock at the end of this 30 days period or whatever. Gladiator, I already have him unlocked, so I can't say, but you'd get at least an extra 37 shards, it would seem. And then Thanos, you'd get over 100. So you will get these characters unlocked, unless you're really shitty luck. But it's just not, it doesn't feel good, I don't think. And it's such a slow drip. It's a extremely slow drip. I don't like the slow drip at the start. I like the slow drip at the end, right? Where I could get the unlock at 3 stars, and then I get some sort of slow drip, which would get me to 4-star later on after a month or whatever, right? But it seems like, and I don't know 100% if this is true. I just wanted to share some of this math with you. But it seems like going forward, if they do the same thing for Orcus, for that team, that we're going to be getting 1 month of orbs, of team orbs, and then maybe by 60 days, we'll have a strike pass. By 90 days, they'll be in the bumps. And then 120 days, they'll be farmable. 1 month, 2 month, 3 months, 4 months. That seems to be the strategy that I'm seeing right now. This entire Annihilators team is going to be dragged out for about 45 days or so, maybe 50 days in terms of the entire, like if you start from Gladiator and when the end of this Thanos period is, probably about 50 days. It's insane. And so if we get to the first Orcus character and there is no free-to-play event for Gladiator, which I expect, I don't think that there will be. Some people have suggested that there is going to be a free-to-play Gladiator event. We'll have to wait and see. Not going to say with 100% certainty this is the case, but it just doesn't look likely. It looks like this is indeed, based on the numbers, also looks like this is indeed the release method. We have to talk. I think Scopely needs to say something about what's going on then. And if this is going to be normal going forward for all the teams. I've joked about this in my Discord server, but I genuinely believe that we might see Orcus team orbs in the raid season or in daily raid payouts. And that depending on what raid that you're running, you're going to get a different amount of character or team orbs throughout that season of the Orcus team release. That's just some predictions. We'll have to wait and see how things go on that. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. How do you truly feel about the Annihilators release system with the orbs? What do you think is the chances that we're going to get a real free-to-play event? I don't think we will, but that's just my thoughts. I think that they're going to sprinkle these orbs, however, perhaps in other events too, throughout the next 30, 35 days. And that's going to be their release method. If you watched my video on Friday on the blog video, there are different statements that were made that Scopely is trying different avenues of character unlocks. And I think that's what we're being experimented on here now with the Annihilators. That's the end of this video, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. And until next time, stay safe and healthy. I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.